Welcome, everyone. This is our 110th Interfaith Prayer and Discussion meeting. The purpose of the meeting is to foster the devotional character of the society and also to bring understanding among various religions and their followers, the common foundation of the religions, so that we can remove prejudice that is there, which is causing disunity in the world. So this is, in our own way, we try to do this, and we hope everyone is trying to do this in their own way, in their own sphere of influence. Now I invite Tracy to do the honoring of Indigenous people and land.
Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge firstly that I'm on Morag people's land. But this is a very difficult day for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people throughout this whole continent and the Torres Strait Islands, because it was the day when the British arrived and their whole world was turned upside down. For thousands of years, they had been living a certain faithfulness in following God's, the Creator's instructions. Though they had different stories to explain those instructions, they were faithfully following those instructions. And they had their own culture and spiritual practices, which were not really acknowledged and were taken away from them. But they stayed loyal and have been retrieving their language and their ways, and it is still continuing to this day. And it helps to inform us to have how to have a closer relationship with the land, waters, trees, animals, and other people that we are living with upon the land. So we pay our respects to their experience and to what they are trying to still teach today. Thank you.
Together the hearts unite and bind. Together the hearts join in accord all the souls. Join in accord all the souls. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together. Join in accord all the souls. Join in accord all the souls. make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the hearts. Join the chord of the soul. Joining the chord of the soul. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the heart. Join the chord of the soul. Joining the chord of the soul. Oh Lord, make these faces radiant through the light of thy oneness. Unite and bind together the hearts. Unite and bind together the hearts. The
O thou kind Lord, O thou who art generous and merciful, we are the servants of thy threshold and are gathered beneath the sheltering shadow of thy divine unity. The sun of thy mercy is shining upon all, and the clouds of thy bounty shower upon all. Thy gifts encompass all, thy loving providence sustains all, thy protection overshadows all, and the glances of thy favor are cast upon all. O Lord, grant thine infinite bestowals, and let the light of thy guidance shine. Illumine the eyes, gladden the hearts with abiding joy. Confer a new spirit upon all people and bestow upon them eternal life. Unlock the gates of true understanding and let the light of faith shine repellent. Gather all people beneath the shadow of thy bounty, and cause them to unite in harmony, so that they may become as the rays of one sun, as the waves of one ocean, and as the fruit of one tree. May they drink from the same fountain. May they be refreshed by the same breeze. May they receive illumination from the same source of light. Thou art the giver and the merciful, the omnipotent. Abdul Baha, Baha'i Prayers.
When honest men can see that all the diversity of contingent beings abides in one alone, and from that alone they radiate, then to Brahman he all thanks. Bhagavad Gita. Behold, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell in unity. It's a dew of harmony, and it's the dew that descended up from the mountains of giants. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Old Testament Psalms. Ye have heard that it hath been said, you shall love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that they may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. New Testament, Matthew 43:48. The purpose for which mortal men have from utter nothingness stepped into the realm of being is that they may work for the betterment of the world and live together in concord and harmony. Baha'u'llah.
And hold fast all together by the rope which God stretches out for you. And be not divided among yourselves, and remember with gratitude God's favor on you. For ye were enemies, and he joined your hearts in love, so that by his grace ye became brethren, and ye were on the brink of the pit of fire, and he saved you from it. Thus doeth God make his signs clear to you, that ye may be guided. Be not like those who are divided among themselves and fall into disputations after receiving clear signs. The Holy Quran.
Welcome back, everybody. There's nothing worse than, that little tickle you feel in your throat when you just know you're about to get sick. Well, our guest today.
Be united, speak in harmony. Let your minds apprehend alike. Common be your prayer. Common be the end of your assembly. Common be your resolution. Common be your deliberation. Alike be your feelings. Unified be your hearts. Common be your intentions. Perfect be your unity. Hinduism, Rig Veda.
It is incumbent upon every man in this day to hold fast unto whatsoever will promote the interests and exalt the station of all nations and just governments. Through each and every one of the verses which the pen of the Most High hath revealed, the doors of love and unity have been unlocked and flung open to the face of men. We have erewhile declared, and our word is the truth, consort with the followers of all religions in a spirit of friendliness and fellowship. Whatsoever hath led the children of men to shun one another, and hath caused dissensions and divisions amongst them, hath, through the revelation of these words, been nullified and abolished. From the heaven of God's will and for the purpose of ennobling the world of being and of elevating the minds and souls of men, hath been sent down that which is the most effective instrument for the education of the whole human race. Of old it hath been revealed, love of one's country is an element of the faith of God. The tongue of grandeur hath, however, in the day of his manifestation proclaimed, it is not his to boast who loveth his country, but it is his who loveth the world. Baha'u'llah.
The purpose of the one true God, exalted be his glory, in revealing himself unto men, is to lay bare those gems that lie hidden within the mind of their true inmost selves, that the diverse communions of the earth and the manifold systems of religious belief should never be allowed to foster the feelings of animosity among men. Is in this day of the essence of the faith of God and his religion. These principles and laws, these firmly established and mighty systems, have proceeded from one source and are the rays of one light. That they differ one from another is to be attributed to be the varying requirements of the ages in which they were promulgated. Baha'u'llah, Gleanings, pages 287 to 88.
O children of men, know you not why we created you all from the same dust? That no one should exalt himself over the other. Ponder at all times in your hearts how you were created. Since we have created you all from one same substance, it is incumbent upon you to be even as one soul, to walk with the same feet, eat with the same mouth, and dwell in the same land, that from your inmost being, by your deeds and actions, the signs of oneness and the essence of detachment may be made manifest. Such is my counsel to you. O concourse of light, heed ye this counsel, that you may obtain the fruit of holiness from the tree of wondrous glory. Baha'u'llah.
We work and pray for the unity of mankind, that all the races of the earth may become one race, all the countries one country, and that all hearts may beat as one heart, working together for perfect unity and brotherhood. Praise be to God that our efforts are sincere and that our hearts are turned to the kingdom. Our greatest longing is that the truth may be established in the world. And in this hope, we draw near to one another in love and affection. All are wholehearted and selfless, willing to sacrifice all personal ambition to the grand ideal towards which they strive. brotherly love and peace and union amongst men. Abdul Baha.
The sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world, the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see a man dying, crawling through the desert, struggling to survive. He was praying to God to deliver him from his thirst and begging not to die. The sweetest water in the world,
Sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see the world crying, drowning in a sea of dust, needing love to quench its thirst, searching for answers, searching to understand. Yet things are getting worse. We're looking for the sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? I see the blessed beauty standing with outstretched arms, a look of love in his eyes, and flowing from his hands like crystal mountain springs, the pure water of life. He's got the sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? Why don't we drink it? The sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world,
sweetest water in the world,
the sweetest water in the world. Why don't we drink it? The sweetest water in the world,
sweetest
sweetest water in the world.
Well, friends, the devotional part is over, and we'll have our introduction of the speaker, Mr. Muthaiya Ramanathan. Is
Welcome. Am I audible now?
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, okay, good.
Mr. Muthaiya Ramanathan is a founder of Mind Dynamic Center. He's an author, corporate trainer, and NLP trainer. But he has a detailed description about him. I'm obliged because to read it, He is a director and founder of the Mind Dynamic Center in India. He specializes in transactional analysis, hypnosis, psychology, and neuro-linguistic programming. He has served as the president of the Hypnotic Circle, Chennai for 14 years. Has done his post-graduation in psychology from the Madras University, postgraduate diploma in guidance and counseling from the Annamalai University. He has done his Master of Science in Psychotherapy from the Institute of Psychotherapy and Management Science in Mumbai. Has more than 20 online certificates, and it goes on that he has got NLP training certificates and the like. And over 30 years, he has presented training programs on all aspects of personality development to well over 1 lakh people in English and Tamil all over India. So he has a lot of credentials. And he has presented in-house training programs in Malaysia and Sri Lanka and online training programs in USA. More than 1,000 people from 50 different countries have taken his course. Transactional analysis A to Z in a nutshell in the international educational platform udemy.com. More than 100 of his videos on various aspects of personality development, including psychology, transactional analysis, hypnosis, and management are available in his YouTube channel, Mind Dynamics Tamil. And he has published 2 bestseller books in Tamil in India by Kannadasan Pariparam. The first one is The Powers of the Mind and Hypnosis. The second book is How to Score More Than 90% in Exams. That's one good for the children. And he has got more than 10,000 books on self-development and psychology in his own library. So you are all welcome to visit his library. I met online Mr. Ramanathan a few months ago in another forum, and I invited him to speak in our weekly Wednesday meeting where we conduct in Tamil for world peace, where we ask friends to come and give a talk on any individuals who have contributed to peace in the world. And he spoke about Martin Luther King. And now here he is going to speak in English for us on unity in diversity. Before we go and invite him to give a talk, I'd like to remind that everyone has different opinions about any topic that we discuss, and there may be a difference in opinions. But I want to read this. Whether through deeds or words, the merit of your every contribution to social well-being lies first in your resolute commitment to discover that precious point of unity where contrasting perspectives overlap and around which contending peoples can coalesce. So our purpose, if we are trying to do something good for the society, is to harmonize the perspectives, not to look at the difference and argue or separate the people. So with that request, I hand over the forum to Mr. Ramanathan to speak.
Welcome. Thank you, Mrs. Sivaperi. Thanks and welcome and greetings to all the people here. India is celebrating Republic Day today, 26th of January. We became a republic on 26th of January 1950. It means 50 73 years. So it's a nice day for all of us in India. And so greetings from India. And the topic will be unity in diversity. Even among here, I get to see people from very many countries who speak very many languages as their mother tongue.
Yes.
How come all of us are here? Something connected us, somebody connected us, some ideology connected us, some wish or desire or a want that connected us, and all of us are here. The topic is the same. The topic is universal. Unity in diversity. How do we all coexist? Or how do we support each other? How do we like each other? How do we get along with each other? How do we form a team? How do we get to understand the other person in front of me? Could be a man, could be a woman, any language, any country, any ethnicity, any race, any religion, or whatever. Irrespective of all those things, how do we get along with each other? How do we like each other? How do we communicate with each other, relate with each other? And how can we go supporting each other in each other's wishes? I can't coexist as an individual all by myself. I need people around me. And internationally, the World Health Organization, initially, I think about 50, 60 years back, they had a definition for health. World Health Organization, WHO. Their definition was physical and psychological well-being means health. I am talking about 60, 70 years back. And then they realized physical and psychological health is not enough. And then they brought in one other category calling, if you are healthy physically, psychologically, socially also, then you are healthy. Meaning not only I'm physically healthy, not only I'm psychologically healthy, being inside this room, maybe 10 by 15, I'm all alone, I'm with myself. The moment I come out, how do I connect with the person in the road, in the neighborhood, to my neighbors around me, in the community, in the marketplace, in the mall, in the railway station or bus stand or whatever? How do I get along with all the other people in the business environment or in the social environment? How do I get along with people? So there is a physical well-being, there is a psychological well-being, and there is also a social well-being. Only when I am socially also I have a well-being with me. Only when I am connected with people in the society also, then I am all right. Otherwise, something is not okay with me and then I need to check it out. Are you with me? So physical, psychological, social well-being is what makes me as a healthy person, number one. And then coming over, there was a person by name Ernesto Teodoro. Ernesto, E-R-N-E-S-T-O. Ernesto Teodoro, T-E-O-D-O-R-O. And he is from Italy, and he was the first person to get Peace Award, Nobel Award for Peace. And he wrote a book or whatever, created some literature on the topic called In Veritate Concordia, In Veritate Unitas. Meaning all of us, unity without uniformity is not okay. Diversity without fragmentation is okay. This is all about coming together. In Veritate, you and I have a different variety. Concordia, coming together. In Veritate Unitas, we are united with each other. That's the name of the book that he has written. And for his work, Ernesto Teodoro was given Nobel Award for Peace. Meaning all of us come together and all of us coexist. All of us get along well with each other, understand each other, communicate with each other, right? So in one way, we talk about all of us are the same. Doesn't matter I am in USA or in Europe or in Africa or in Asia or in any other place, Australia, whatever. No matter where I am, the physical structure continues to remain the same as Homo sapiens sapiens, or as hunter-gatherer, or as a human being, or as a man, woman. It's all, the structure is the same. The hair is here, and the forehead is here, and the eyes are there, the nose is here, the mouth is here, the neck is here, the chest is here, the tummy is here, and then the waist, and then the legs. So no other combination can work. The combination is the same. The color, the texture of the skin color could vary, the height could vary, the weight could vary, the language that I speak that could vary, but structure continues to remain the same universally. Are you with me? Take the face away and close the face and take a photograph of people around. You will not know to which country the man belongs or the woman belongs or to which language they do speak about. We do not know anything about the other person. Only by looking at the face, we'll be able to gauge something about the other person. Beyond that, we do not know much about the other person. It's all universally the same. The physical structure continues to remain the same as Homo sapiens sapiens. We call ourselves as human beings, right? But then all of us are different. How come all of us are the same and how come all of us are different? That is where the irony or the beauty comes into play. And in case my skull is to be opened and my brain is to be taken away and then put it on a table, right? There's a huge hall, maybe 100 feet by 100 feet, that's a huge hall. And in that hall, all the brains are taken out and placed on the table. Now I tell you, all the brains will look the same. We do not know whether it's a female brain or a male brain. We do not know whether it's a child's brain or the elderly person's brain. We know that it is a brain, right? And then if in case I have a facility called an electrode and putting the electrode in the brain at some point or some area, suddenly if I can make the brain to say something back based on the recording in my mind, based on all my life experiences, all the feelings and emotions, all the thinking pattern, all the good and bad, everything that has happened to me, if only I'm able to play with an electrode, I tell you, if there are 700 crore or 7,000 million people around, or 7 billion people around, I do not know the exact numbers. If there are so many people, I tell you, every single brain will play a different record. There are no two brains which can play the same record at all. All the single individuals, every single person in the world will have a different recording in the brain. That makes us, you are different, I am different, you thinking differently, I think differently, you feel differently, I feel differently, you speak differently, I speak differently. So every single one is different. Every single one's life experience and the interpretation of our life experience is called our perception. It's all different. But we all look alike. Take the face away or cover the face and then take a photograph. All of us look alike. We do not know to which race or which ethnicity or which country the person belongs. Are you with me? So in one aspect, all of us are same. In another aspect, all of us are different. All of us individually, singularly, all of us are different. So that makes life interesting. And we call India as a democratic country, right? So we call United States of America as a democratic country. Right. So we have two different countries and two different democratic countries. Right. But then if you go in and look a little deeper, you get to know that USA is not one country. It is United States of America, meaning 50 different states, 50 different kind of people have come together. And suddenly we notice that 50 different kinds of people put together 50 different states, and that becomes United States of America or USA today, right? Similarly, we have about 32 different states in India. This is also a democratic country, and all of us have got a different kind of an ethnicity or a race or a thinking pattern. Linguistically, all of us are different. Even take the instance of South India, wherein there are only 5 states. One called Tamil Nadu, wherein I speak Tamil. Another one, Paul Padayati is here, he speaks Malayalam. Another one speaks Telugu from Andhra. Another one speaks Kannada from Karnataka. And the 4 or 5 states, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, put together, they speak Telugu. So 4 different states and 4 different linguistic people, we all put together, we are called South Indians or we are all called Indians. In one angle, we are all Indians. Another angle, I am a Tamilian, he is a Telugu, he is a Malayali, he is a Kannadiga. Right? So there is a difference also, there is a conglomeration also. So 32 different states and 32 different kinds of people coming together, we form a union of India. This is not India is one country, it's a union of India. Similarly, USA, Russia, USSR also, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Different republics, they all come together. It's called Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. So people come together and then form a country. And before 1947, Pakistan was with us. It's called United India. This is called the same country. One country called India. Somewhere in August 15, 1947, Pakistan became a separate country and we became a separate country. So India is different, Pakistan is different. But if you take 1940 into account, you will come across people. Our Prime Minister, our earlier Prime Minister called Dr. Manmohan Singh, he was born in Karachi, Pakistan. But then after the partition, he came to India and then later he became the Prime Minister of India. Even though he was the Prime Minister, he was the Prime Minister of India, still he was born in an area called Karachi, Pakistan. Similarly, our opposition party leader, Lal Krishna Advani, LK Advani, he was also born in Pakistan and he became the opponent party leader who was pitted against Dr. Manmohan Singh in the same parliament at the same time. So our Prime Minister was from Pakistan. Our opposition leader, LK Advani, was also from Pakistan. One more irony was, there was a president called Parvez Musharraf in Pakistan, and this military officer Parvez Musharraf in Pakistan was born in Delhi. So being born in Delhi, he became the president of Pakistan. Being born in Karachi, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh became our Prime Minister. So simply because you divided it with a barricade or you erected a wall and you call two different military angles, it doesn't mean he doesn't belong with me. All Pakistanis are my brothers and sisters. They are my cousins and nephews and nieces. Similarly, for them also, we are brothers and sisters. We are cousins and nieces and nephews. Are you with me? In that context, one cannot get angry with the other person because it's own blood. If you take it a longer way, ultimately you will get to know that all of us were born to Africans. Africa is the origin of human beings. If you take it still further on, all of us are born from amphibians, the ones which were neither in water nor in the land. They were moving from the water to land and land to water. They were the ones who were pioneers. Moving still behind, you will come across bacteria and viruses, amoeba and hydra and euglena and paramecium and all those things. They were our forefathers and foremothers. Are you with me? In that context, all of us have got a link. That is what Charles Darwin said. Evolutionary process, all of us belong to the same tree. You are in one branch, the other person is in another branch, another person in another branch. Doesn't mean it's over. The tree is still growing. From monkeys we came by. From us, some other species will come by. We are in the process of, we are the ones who are the agents who are going to create the next species. Are you with me? So in that context, I am in the middle of the road. I am not the end product. I am not the ultimate. If you read Sapiens of Yuval Noah Harari or Homo Deus of Yuval Noah Harari, you will come across situations like this wherein we get to know that we are one fruit or we are one flower, we are one branch of a huge tree, and the tree has got a lot of branches and lots of spaces available. Are you with me? Coming over, Carl Sagan, C-A-R-L, Carl, S-A-G-A-N, Sagan. Carl Sagan is an astronomer, and he was the one in charge of sending a satellite up in the air, maybe some space, I do not know what much. So the satellite was going, or satellite is being sent over there, and the satellite is circulating or remaining there or moving this way, that way with a rocket, I do not know. At some point of time, Carl Sagan thinks when the rocket or the satellite is being there up in the space and moving, Carl Sagan says, take a photo reverse side. And then the rocket or the satellite or the camera over there that takes a photo. And then when Carl Sagan looks at the photo, he gets to see the photo of our Earth, the whole Earth, geographical Earth. It was a pale blue dot. P-A-L-E, pale meaning light blue dot. If you access a Google saying that pale blue dot, you will get to know that this is our universe, this is our geographical space wherein we are. From the space, if you get to see, we are only a pale blue dot. And in the pale blue dot, what happens is 70% it is water or salt water or the ocean or the sea or the beach or whatever. And 30% is a land mass. And in the 30% land mass, we have several continents. And within the several continents, we have countries. And within the countries, we have cities. And then within the city, we have pin codes and zip codes and all those things. And therein we come into play. Again, coming back to Sapiens of Yuval Noah Harari. Nearly 2 million years back in Africa, there was a lady ape which was pregnant. The lady ape was pregnant 2 million years back, and then it gave birth to 2 daughters. One daughter was a female ape, the other daughter was a female sapien. S-A-P-I-E-N meaning human. So the single lady, our grandmother, great grandmother, she gave birth to two daughters. One daughter was an ape daughter, the other daughter was a human daughter. And the human daughter was the one who was the ultimate authority for creating all of us. We were all children of that one single daughter of a one single lady ape. Get it? And then from there it happens. We have had lots of people, cousins and nephews, and as I told you earlier, we have lots of relatives. Many other species. If you take up any living being, there will be many kinds of species available. So in that context, human beings, we Homo sapiens sapiens, we call ourselves as Homo sapiens sapiens, meaning I am intelligent, I am a man, I am intelligent, and I know that I am intelligent. Sapien means I am intelligent, and sapiens sapiens meaning I am aware that I am intelligent. So I am a knowledgeable person, I am an intelligent person, and I am aware that I am an intelligent person. That makes me a human being, Homo sapiens sapiens. But then I was earlier living with several other similar homos. Homo meaning man. So there was Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo ergaster, Homo soloensis, Homo rudolfensis, Homo floresiensis, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo denisovans. Within the denisovans there are 13 varieties. Hominids, hominins, Australopithecus, ultimately Homo sapiens sapiens. Australia simply means south, because Australia was in the deep down south, it's called as Australia. Australia means only south. So Australopithecus meaning deep down south. So all these species were there, and they have had intermixed sexual relationships also. They begot children also, and they survived also. Ultimately, all of them got, by and large, Homo sapiens killed all of them, and we alone exist today. Get it? So we were a pale blue dot, and in that dot, ultimately, starting from bacteria, hydra, amoeba, and all those things, we came into being. And then what happens was, one more area in the pale blue area is, the universe is so vast, I tell you, there's a galaxy, and billions of stars are there. Our sun is a star, and then every star has got several planets, and several planets have got several satellites like our moon. So there is a solar system, and there is a planet system, and there is a satellite system. And in this area, there are billions of suns, billions of stars. And then in the Milky Way, all put together, maybe it becomes a galaxy, and there are billions of galaxies. One more thing is the galaxy, our galaxy, is still moving at 2.1 million kilometers per hour. Our total galaxy is still today now moving at 2.1 million kilometers per hour. And our Earth alone, if you take it up, it is rotating or circulating. It is moving at 1,600 kilometers per hour. So put together 24 hours, we have one full circle. Are you with me? So there is so vast under this, you just can't even imagine all these things are happening. If you want to know more about astronomy, you can check up Jackie Faherty, Jackie, Jackie Faherty, Faherty. Another lady is by name Michelle Thaler, Michelle, Thaler, Thaller. Michelle Thaler and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Jackie Faherty and Carl Sagan and Michio Kaku and Dr. Brian Cox, they tell us a lot about astronomy. When you check up astronomy, I tell you, we are nothing, simply nothing. But then we as human beings, we think we are everything, and we think we can dominate everything, everybody, and then we can get whatever we want, irrespective of what is happening to other people. We are insignificant in the whole area called pale blue dot or in the cosmos, right? So initially there came the Big Bang and the physics, matter and the energy came by. Physics was the first subject to start in the universe. So matter and energy, there was a Big Bang, and then came molecules and atoms, chemistry came into being, and then came living being, and then the botany came. From botany, zoology came by. From zoology, we separated as called ourselves anthropology. And from anthropology, we started studying ourselves, it's called psychology. And in psychology, we started thinking about our thoughts and feelings and actions. All our successes, all our happiness, and all our problems are centered around only three things: my thought, my feeling, my action. How is it connected with the other person's thought, how the other person's feeling, other person's action? So how did it evolve? Came from physics and the chemistry, and then botany, and then zoology, and then anthropology, and then Homo sapiens sapiens, and ultimately you and I are here, right? So Africa is the area the human being came into being, Homo sapiens sapiens. And they could have happily remained there in Africa. But then there was always an innate quest. There's a thirst. They always wanted to be inquisitive, curious as to what is there in every place, and they started moving. Where did they move? They started moving out of Africa, and they moved up over there. And then by take a left turn, they went to Alaska and USA. And then they took a right turn, they went to Russia and then Siberia. They took another turn here and came down. It's Asia, India, Indonesia, Philippines, and South Korea and Japan and all. So the Africans started moving. So moving was pretty difficult. They did not have a vehicle. They did not have aeroplanes and rockets and all those things. Trains and buses and cars and vehicles, fuel were not there. They walked on foot. Not only on foot, they also started moving with an animal called yak, Y-A-K, yak. Tamil is Kavari Ma appadin per. Kavari Ma nalla. Kavari Ma, K-A-V-A-R-A-M-A. Kavari Ma. Yak is like a buffalo, dark and strong and smaller than a buffalo. And using the yak, they started moving. Yak gave them company number 1, and it was transportation number 2, and it gave milk number 3. It gave food. They killed it and they started eating the mutton, so that became food 4. And then it gave them coat. The skin of the yak became your coat, withstanding the cold. So with all these, with the one single facility called yak, people started moving. And they spread everywhere in the world. And when they entered Siberia, the temperature was 0 degrees Celsius. The Africa was very close to equator and about 40-50 degrees Celsius. Plus, from 40 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Celsius climate, they came down to 0 degrees Celsius. And they still started moving. It became -5 and -10 and -20 and -30, -40. But still people kept on moving and they survived, and they are the ones who created you and me, because they were curious, they were inquisitive, they were mobile, they were risk-taking, and they withstood all sorts of climate and weather, and they created you and me, right? So in that context, all of us owe our respects to all these people in Africa and all. Well, I am talking about all these things in order to say that all of us came from the same tree and the same branch line. That is what my intention. And then if you take up great people like Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King or Babasaheb Ambedkar from India, you get to know that these people were universally interested in the well-being of every human being in the world. They were not confined to their own area. Martin Luther King was not confined to USA or black alone. And Gandhi or Ambedkar, they were not confined to India alone. And Mandela was not confined to South Africa alone. They were concerned with the well-being of all the people, meaning all of us are equal. And they fought for this. And they underwent a lot of difficulties and discomforts, and they were imprisoned also. They underwent imprisonment, and in order to see that all of us work together, live together happily, all of us are the same. No one is above anybody, no one is below anybody. Everyone is equal, and everyone has got equal rights to survive and live and get whatever they wanted. So all these people never fought a war. Nelson Mandela or Ambedkar or Gandhi or Martin Luther King, they never fought a war. They never hurt the other person back, because even though they were hurt by other people who were powerful, people who were in the government, who are authorities. They underwent all the pains and sufferings for the sake of you and I to be happy all over the world. Are you with me? So in that context, people are interested in the well-being of all the other people everywhere. Coming back to me in my place, I tell you, I am using this PC and the mic over here and the speaker over here, and maybe the software, the software is our Zoom or Google ID on the Google and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the Facebook and the YouTube and all those things. They were almost all of them were given to us by the Europeans or especially Americans, North Americans. So they were all, by and large, they were Christians. So I got all these software facilities or information technology facilities or social media facilities from Europeans, from Americans, Christians. And then coming over, I travel by my car and my two-wheeler. Using my two-wheeler and the car, I get to know that the only fuel that I have is borrowed from or bought from your Arabian countries, the United States of America or the Gulf countries. And 95% of the fuel or the gas or the petrol came to us only supplied by Muslims in the Arab countries. And then in order to buy the car, I took some loan from some Jain people, because Jains are the ones who lend money to all the other people to buy a house or to buy vehicles in India. And then I noticed that the vehicles are being sold to us by only Punjabis. Punjabis are in the vehicle manufacturing business, vehicle selling business. It could be cars or two-wheelers. Sadajis or Punjabis or Sikhs are the ones who are supplying all those things. And I am a Hindu. I am driving the car. I am driving my two-wheeler. And who gave me the facility to get the information about the car or the motorcycle? Christian. And who is giving me social media? Christian. Who gave me the fuel? Muslim, Arab country. Who gave me the loan to buy the car? Jain. Who gave me the car or the motorcycle? It was a Sikh. And who is the driver? Hindu. Hindu is a driver. So me being a driver, how can I say Hindu is the only one who is qualified to live in this country, or who is the only one who has right to dictate terms to other people? I am dependent on all these people. So if I ask Google, the Google gives me everything. But then Google got created by somebody else, and the Google is taking data from everywhere else. How can Google be number one in the world search engine without gathering data from every single person in the world, good or bad, young or old, educated or otherwise, rich or poor, businessman or worker, doesn't matter. And everything is gotten from every place. Again, my metro train is supplied by Japanese people. So I am dependent on everybody. One more item I tell you, I think maybe a year or two back, there's a Panama Canal. There's a North America and there's a South America. And there are 7 countries connecting the 2 large landmasses called Isthmus, I-S-T-H-M-U-S, Isthmus. Isthmus is a small landmass connecting 2 large masses. So in this isthmus in between South America and North America are a couple of countries like San Salvador, El Salvador, Panama, Costa Rica, and all those things. These are all there. And Panama is an area where there is a canal, and using the Panama Canal, the ships go by and go to the other side, and then ships come from the other side, the westmost end to this area. It so happened one medium-sized ship went over, and in the wind it got twisted a little bit and got caught in the Panama Canal. Instead of going straight this way, it got stuck this way, and it was there that way for about a week. We could do nothing about changing the direction of the ship because the ship got wrecked there or got caught in between the landmass, right? Because of that one ship blocking the Panama Canal, I tell you, internationally price started raising for all the products in the world, because nothing could go that way, nothing could come this way. The Panama Canal is hardly, I tell you, 100 meters or so in breadth. How come a waterway 100 meters in breadth can cause so much of problems and havoc internationally in every country in the world? We are all dependent on everybody. Often it can tell ourselves we are all interdependent on each other. I'm not, if I say I am dependent on you, then you become great. I become dependent on you, I become subordinate. I am saying I depend on you, you depend on me. We are interdependent on each other. Doesn't matter which country we belong to. Doesn't matter what is happening inside our head. All of us are connected to each other. All of us need each other. Get it? Again, I tell you, If there are different colors that exist in the world, it's okay. There are different colors. I know. How many colors exist? I do not know. With GR, oh, meaning 7 different: violet, indigo, and blue, and green, yellow, and orange, and red. Right? Oh, multicolors. Rainbow is always beautiful. Why a rainbow is beautiful? Because there are so many colors coming together. That's a spectrum that makes it colorful. That makes it beautiful. We call it aesthetic. We call it beautiful, colorful, and all. Right? It's pleasing our mind. How come people from different ethnicity, we do not form a rainbow? How come a blue is against green, and green says I'm better than yellow, yellow says to hell with red, and yellow says I will not talk to orange? And suddenly we come across a situation, no one is comfortable with any color. I'm saying a color is a color. A color is neither good nor bad, neither superior nor inferior. A color is a color. A country is a country. A person is a person. Over. How come we say that a doctor is better than engineer, engineer is better than chartered accountant is better than a lawyer, lawyer is better than a worker, worker is better than a manager? No way. All of us are human beings and all of us need each other. We cannot survive, we cannot exist without the other person. All of us are in need of each other. They're calling ourselves as Hindu or Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or Jain or Sikh or whatever. It simply divides us. When I say I put on some vibhuti, like some item here, religious significance here or religious logo here, what I'm telling you is I belong to this religion. Not only that, I'm telling you I belong to this religion. I'm also telling you, you don't belong to my religion, so you are different and I am different. Unspoken words, communication happens. The moment I put on a cross, the moment I put on a turban, the moment I put on a hat, the moment I put on some religious logo up on top of my head or on my face, I'm telling all the other people, I am not you, you are not me, I am different, you are different. Sometimes I also convey the message, I am superior to you by the very look. I'm saying, how come you and I can't be human beings? Simple Homo sapiens sapiens. You are a human being, I am a human being. All that the difference that could make you is you are a man and I am a man and you are a lady. Beyond that, there is no other significance. Even nature said a man cannot create himself or a lady cannot create herself. The lady wants a man and the man wants a lady. So it's split into two. There is a positive, there is a negative. I'm not saying positive, negatives are different. Negative and the negative connotation. I'm saying like electrical passageway, wherein there is a negative, there is a positive. And when they come together, put together into the socket, suddenly you get the energy. So you need different kinds of energies in order to come together. Even though we are a lot advanced in electricity and science and all those things, still we need two poles in order to be put in the socket such that we get whatever we want from. It could be a lighter, it could be a heater, it could be an air conditioner, it could be your car also, whatever. No matter what you need through electricity, there has got to be a positive, there has got to be a negative. And there has got to be a yin and there has got to be a yang, a feminine energy and masculine energy also, right? So we need to know that we are in touch with other people. We are in touch with everyone around us. We are in touch with everything, everything around us. Even nature, if you go to the beach, the seashore and the beach, many a place we come across situation wherein the water is there, the ocean, the blue colored water is there. The moment the water is over, you come across some sand area, right? Oh, sand is different, but water is different. How come always, whenever the sea ends, you always get to see a beach, you always get to see some sand area. And in some areas, you also come across huge rocks, sometimes hills and mountains also. There is a water and there is a sand and there is a rock and a hill also. And suddenly you come across normal mud and flat earth also. So earth is different and sand is different, water is different, rock is different. Within a circumference of 100 meters, you come across all the four existing together for a period of millions and millions and millions of years. They all come together. How come there is water? How come there is sand? How come there is rock? How come there is road also, mud also? We are making use of all of them. The idea is to coexist. irrespective of our nationality, age, qualification, whatever race, ethnicity, and all those things. The idea is to coexist, right? I'm saying, in case I bring in 20 newborn babies, and all of them were born here in Chennai or in your place, 20 newborn babies, right? And all the 20 newborn babies are in diapers, or in a tiny little clothing. And looking at the babies, can anyone say, this baby belongs to Africa, this belongs to Israel, this belongs to Australia, this one belongs to Russia, this one is from South Korea? Can you say this is a male baby or a female baby? Can you say this is from a worker's baby or a boss's baby? Can you say this belongs to Sikh or Jainism or Hindu or Muslim or Christian? Can you say this belongs to in India alone, we have a peculiar classification called caste. Caste meaning one is upper caste, another one is below, another one is still below, another one is still below, another one is still below. The moment somebody is born, we have classifications based on our Varnasrama, Dharma, or one more thing they call it, whatever is. So they classify people and they say one belongs to Brahmin, another one is Mudaliar, another one is Chettiar, another one is 1 year, another one is backward, another one is most backward, another one is scheduled caste, another one is scheduled tribe. I am saying all these 20 babies are there in front of you. You can bring in biologists, you can bring in anthropologists, you can bring in doctors, you can bring in surgeons, you can bring in scientists, bring religious leaders and Swamijis and other people. Bring in political leaders, bring in economists, bring in Nobel Award winners. All these people have got to check up the babies. They can touch the baby, pick up the baby, but then they got to tell which baby belongs to which country, which baby is male, which one is female, which one is Muslim, which one is Christian, which one is Tamilian, which one is Kannadiga, which one is Malayali, which one is Hindi. Is there any scientific basis in order to find out? Even if they find out 12 out of 20, I grant them rights. Yeah, you are great. No one can identify a male baby or a female baby. A baby belongs to a Tamil family or Malayali family or Telugu family. A baby is Australian baby or American baby or Israel baby or African baby. We can classify nothing. How come you and I have started calling ourselves as a country, as an ethnicity, as belonging to this group and that group? Or we bring in some other element called capitalists and communists and socialists and other area, or bourgeois and proletariats and all those things. So it is this classification which does not exist, cannot be scientifically proven. No scientist can make any heads or tails out of babies born. But then you and I have classified ourselves as to we belong to this sect and we are proud of our sect. It's okay to be proud of your sect or your ethnicity or language or country or whatever, but doesn't mean the other person is not okay. I specialize in transaction analysis, which says, I am okay, you are okay. No matter what has happened in my life, I am okay. No matter what you do in your life, you are also okay. Just a sec. Get it? In that context, I am telling you, Scandinavian countries, by and large, Scandinavian countries are Denmark and Norway and Sweden and Finland and Netherlands and Iceland and Greenland and Ireland and Switzerland. All these countries are up on top of Europe and they are called Scandinavian countries. In Scandinavian countries, by and large, you notice that people are happy. The government gives them whatever they want. People happily pay their taxes and people are comfortable moving with each other. People study whatever they want to. People work in an area wherever they want to. People start a business whatever they want to. Crime rate is come and the violent incidences are very nearly remote. The policemen and the military men have got absolutely no work to do. And the country is flourishing and the government is taking care of everybody. How come you and I do not model these Scandinavian countries, taking everything into account that I will not commit anything illegal. I will not hurt anybody else. And I will pursue whatever I want to pursue. The country is a good place. I am a good place. Neighborhood is a good place. I need not have to do anything in order to get more than what the other person gets. I enjoy riding my bicycle. I pedal my bicycle and move everywhere. I am connected to people. I'm happy with whatever I have. If only we could model Scandinavian countries and not be aspiring for too many things other than what everybody else has, and do not think that I'm superior to the other person or I'm inferior to the other person, and everybody thinks I'm okay, other people are okay, and every country is okay, every religion is okay, every race is okay, every ethnicity city is okay, every job is okay, everybody is okay, every feeling is okay, every connectivity is okay, then you and I will have a paradise or a utopia to live on. And that is what we are hoping for. When we coexist, the world will be a beautiful place. I hope we can get it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Done.
Thank you. That's a wonderful talk with a lot of information about science and psychology and anthropology. I don't know how you manage to get all this knowledge. For my little mind to take all of this is not easy. I will ask our friends who wants to have questions or comments, could use the reaction button to raise your hand. And I know now Jung and then Bhuvaneswari. First Jung and then Bhuvaneswari. Unmute and talk, Jung.
Thank you for your lectures. It's very interesting. You cover a lot of subjects there. You cover a lot of topics. One of my questions is, have people, especially parents, have you ever experienced as a parents brought their children, especially the autistic children, autism, to come to your place to ask for help? Psychotherapy, I mean, you talk about dynamics of the brain. To be happy and to be living in harmony, people have to be healthy, have to have good diets, and have to be accompanied by good people. So that will help them to generate what you call happiness and harmonization, everything. But with the children who has autism, they are angels, but they communicate it in a different way. So I went to the library long time ago and I bought books about autism and see how the brain works so I can help them. So I look into that group of people and I just wonder, how did you help them in, like you say, psychology, thoughts, and actions? So what sort of chemical that you help them, and what sort of communication you help them, and what sort of analyzation of their brain that you've been helping them? Thank you very much.
Welcome. Autism is not an area where I specialize in, but then I think these children have got some inability to communicate with or understand the other person's expressions or emotions and then respond to them emotionally. That's my understanding of autism. But then I have a doctor here named Dr. Gopalakrishnan, who has got two hospitals in Chennai and specializes in autism. So anytime somebody comes to me with an issue saying that I have an autistic child, I always refer these children to contact my friend Dr. Gopalakrishnan. But then my recommendation for general normal public here is there is a serial called Good Doctor in Netflix. And the doctor has got autistic issues, and it's a serial running for about 5 years or 6 years or so. And watch that Good Doctor. The doctor has autistic problems, but he is able to diagnose properly and give treatment properly. He is a surgeon also. Good Doctor in Netflix. We will get more information about autism and how we can still be successful and be happy. Check that out.
Okay.
A nice serial.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for good advice. Well, that is
Good Doctor in Netflix. Come on.
Yeah, that's an interesting area to move into. You know, ages ago we were moving to it, but now they still produce autistic kids, and that's one of my, the area that everybody should look into it and talk about the protester that you mentioned about, like different countries, different problems. Do you think that if they go back to the covenant, when God talked to Abraham, God said that God promised Abraham that he will give Abraham promised land and descendants and blessings. So if people go back to the basic, they will be happy. They will be, if they've been learning all these things from the Bible, then they will be happy. Then there's no reason to get on strike or protest or riots or whatever, because actually we need revenue for a nation. We need labor force, and they're wonderful labor force. The taxation office will be very happy to collect revenues from all these group of people, in a positive ways. So that's how I see the labor force blooming, and it's a very good sign of hope.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Bhuvaneswari, would you like?
Good afternoon, friends. Yes, this was excellent, interesting session. But I came to know that we are all origin of Africa only. Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. But Christians and Hindus and Muslims the partition?
They came by later. Originally, all of us were hunters and gatherers, meaning we were hunting in order to survive. And then whoever could not hunt, they became gatherers, plucking fruits and vegetables from the plants and vegetations. So hunter-gatherer was the original name given to all of us as Homo sapiens. And later we evolved so many other things, and then we classified ourselves as this country and that country, this religion and that religion. All these things came by later, much later.
Okay. So even in India and Tamil Nadu, everything from Africa only. We are all origin.
All human beings originated only from Africa.
Okay, sir. Excellent speech and interesting answer. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Zore, and then.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ramanathan, for the talk. It was very interesting, and I just want to know what's the main cause of this division, or people are just dividing themselves that this religion, that religion, or do you have any solution? A few solutions, or that's my things that. What do you see the cause of this? Why did we get divided? What happened to the human?
I'm not quite sure why it happened, but somebody wanted to distinguish himself or herself from the other people. So he called himself as a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, segregated himself, separated himself from the other people. And then he started selling or advocating his propaganda, using a propaganda. He started telling all the other people, all Christians come together, all Muslims come together, all Sikhs come together, and he created a community. And actually, religion is the one which is dividing people. We don't need a religion at all. By and large, if you are here, you have the humane tendency and love for humanity, and for anything, and as I told you earlier, the whole world is interdependent on everybody else. For anything and everything, we need each other. For even now, for all of us to come together here, we need so many the help from so many countries and so many people from so many ethnicities and people who speak so many different languages. And they made it all possible that I talk to you and you talk to me. I speak in English and you are understanding my English. Are you with me? So in that context, as I told you earlier, blue is a color, green is a color, yellow is a color, red is a color. So this is a religion, that's a religion, that's a religion, that's a religion. No religion is superior to any other religion. No religion is inferior to any other religion. Long as you are happy with yourself, long as you communicate with the other people, relate with other people, respect other people, give them the other person the space that he or she wants, you and I will not have a problem. The moment I want to occupy your problem, the moment I want to convert your ideology, the moment I think I'm superior to you, the moment I think I have power over you, the moment I want to dominate on you, then the issue comes in. Otherwise, you are okay to be you, I'm okay to be me, and he is okay to be him, and she is okay to be herself. We have a problem, we want to dominate, we want to convert, we want everybody to come into my fold. We can be different and we can be happy. And the beauty lies in the difference. If it is all black, then it's boring. If it's all white, then it is boring. Only when multi-colors are there, life becomes interesting.
But I've heard that in, for example, Scandinavian countries, which they have all the comfort, but the rate of suicide is very high compared to the other places, even to India, which the wealth. And I think the main reason for that is the spiritual and I don't want to say religious, but to feel that somebody else apart from them, because they have become like they want to say we are dominating everything. We don't need any superpower. Or what do you say about that? What do you think?
I do not know why they come to that understanding or why suicide rate is more there. But all that I can say is from any person, there is some good aspects, there is some negative aspect. The idea is to pick up whatever is good. From the Scandinavian country, what we can pick up is how to be happy. So if the suicide rate is more, let us ignore that. We call this as benchmarking in management or marketing. You go to a company, understand, maybe you pick up Microsoft or you pick up Apple or Amazon, identify which department works very well, and then model that department alone from that company. So pick up one department from Amazon, one department from Apple, one department from Microsoft, and then you put all of them together. You will have a different kind of a benchmarking. Your company will be better off. Do not model everything from Amazon, everything from Microsoft. This is called benchmarking. Identify one specific area. Similarly, also you cannot make your entire house beautiful. So what you do is you pick up one area in your one room in your house, and then one specific place in your house, and make that place beautiful. Here I am sitting in my chair and looking at my PC, and my library is there behind me, and I have a lot of hard disks like this. All of them are 4 TB hard disks. I have a lot of hard disks here. My materials are here, and I'm so happy sitting in this table and reading my book and collecting data from computers and writing them all down like this, and then talking about them. This place in my house is the most beautiful place. I cherish it.
Thank you.
I have not made my entire house beautiful, 1,500 square feet. But then this 50 square feet is so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I want you to, if you have time tonight, to talk about hypnotize. Hypnotize.
Yeah, I'll give a talk on hypnosis here.
Yes.
So, organize intro to hypnosis.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
We do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sura.
Marina.
Thank you for the lovely talk, Mr. Ramanathan. And I just want to know, if every human is from Africa, do you still say that Africans only have one religion?
Come again, the last sentence.
Africans, all the Africans have the same religion?
Religion came by later. Human beings as Homo sapiens evolved there. They were born there from the man, from the woman ape.
Yeah.
So that's the origin. That's the native place. For all of us, the native place is Africa.
So if it is the native place, would they have the same religion in Africa? All of the Africans?
I do not know. Religion evolved based on needs, to satisfy somebody's needs.
Mm.
And then they classified into caste, varnasrama dharma. And then linguistics and geographically, ethnicity, black and white, and upper class and lower class, upper caste and lower caste. All these things came by and they started dividing. But by and large, you and I are Homo sapiens sapiens.
Okay, so if they are all from Africa, I'm a little confused. Okay, I understand you have the dark hair and I have the dark hair. But what do we say for the people who have white hair or different skin color? If they are, I mean, comparing with Africa, most of the people have dark hair
Hmm.
and dark skin. So most of
So
us
my
will-
understanding will be Africa is around equator.
Yeah.
And the temperature range is around 40-50 degrees Celsius usually. So at 40-50, people who are working in the paddy field or in the area, outer area, exposed area, they will become dark. And then they started moving. When they moved over to Alaska or America or Europe or Siberia and Russia, they were cool countries. And when it became cool countries, and there you remain, mostly you remain indoors, and the skin becomes softer, and then you become fair. One another area is 100,000 years back, all women and men went about hunting. And in a cycle, it so happened, the wild animal, the cheetah or the leopard or the tiger or the bear or the lion came by, and they started hurting the women and eating the women. They did not touch the man. And it happened sometimes, and after some time, for several days, nothing happened. Suddenly, once again, the lion comes, and the lion or the bear or the cheetah hurts only the lady. And then we realize that the lady has had a menstruation, and the blood comes out of her body. And when the blood droplets are there in the ground, the scent of the blood attracted the wild animal, and then the animal came over and pounced upon the lady. And suddenly man realized, or the man or the woman both realized, that this is the reason why the wild animal hurts only the lady and not the man. And when both of them were hunting, it so happened, she says, I started bleeding. The man stopped hunting and took the lady back and put her in the cave safe, and then came back hunting. And then she said, tomorrow I'm not coming, day after I'm not coming, 3 days, 5 days, she said, I'm not coming. When the 6th day she said, I'm coming, she said, remain at home, I'll take care of it. So man started moving out, and the lady remained inside. So more the man started moving out, his bone became stronger, he grew 6 inches to 12 inches taller than the lady, and his skin became darker, and he has cut down on his emotions. If he is not emotionally connected to the animal, he cannot kill the animal. So he has cut down on his emotions also. He became hard and rough. Get it? The lady remained inside the cave. Lady remained inside the forest area. The lady did not come out. Her skin became soft. Her height stopped at 5 feet or 5 feet 6 inches. It stopped at 50, 60 kg. And then the man killed the animal. And in the process, the animal also hurt the man. In spite of being hurt by the animal, and blood is there everywhere, and all the wounds, he was able to kill the animal and take maybe 40-50 kg the lamb or the deer, put it on his top of his shoulder, somehow find out the way and come back home. And in the cave, he said, let us cook. And the lady said, you went about cooking, you went about hunting, you were hurt, you were bleeding, I will attend on you, and then you take rest. Only if you take rest, you will be able to go for hunting tomorrow. So lie down, I will start cooking. And she took over. And then the baby came inside the mummy or the lady's tummy, and she delivered the baby, and the baby wanted food. Mummy was the only person who has had the breast, and she was the only one who was feeding. And he said, I will bring food from outside. You feed the baby from your breast, and food is always associated with you. And bringing in food or later going to an office, making money and bringing you food is my responsibility. Man took over this way, lady took over that way. Lady is always soft. Lady is always 6 inches lesser. Lady is always 10 kg, 20 kg lighter. Lady is always soft, man is always rough. I didn't want it that way, but this is the way it is.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I just want to give something update on Scandinavia and why the suicide rate is high. I was read an article saying because the Scandinavia is one of the countries which get less sunlight compared to the other countries, and people get depressed because they don't see the sunlight, and that's why the suicide rate is higher. Just for Zora as well, I just thought I'll let you know. Thank you for your talk.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the add-on info.
You and Panja.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
The theory of creation of the human species is said it has got a different version in all the holy scriptures of the past, the religious scriptures. But your theory is that we all originated from Africa. So does that mean the scriptures are not speaking the truth? Or is there any connection and explanation? Even the Hindu religion says man originated in some part of Himalaya, where there is the Kailas, where the Lord Shiva and Parvati, they created human beings. So I want to know the theory of coming from Africa, is it right, or the scriptures are not telling the right thing? Where do we, stand? Thank you.
The science has got certain data and evidences. Based on the science and the data, publications in the science journals, internationally recognized science journals, we accept certain things. A belief system is different, science is different. Science will not contest a belief system. The moment belief system says, I am science, then science will say, how do you call yourself science? Give me the data sample size. How did you arrive at this? Science is there, questionable by anybody, everybody. Internationally, science can be opened up at any point of time. Supposing I say 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen will come together, H2O is water. In case you as an individual bring up something else and then you create water out of that, and then we understand that that is the easiest way to create water, science will dispose of, put the H2O in the dustbin, pick up whatever Panja Pillai told me, and then if it works, we will take it. Science has got no qualifications at all. Science does not discriminate at all. Any given point of time, if you bring in something new, if it is cost effective, if it is useful to humankind, science will pick it up. Originally, there was blackboard and people called it as blackboard. It shall have been called as board, but then we started calling it as blackboard. The moment it became a blackboard, you can use only chalk piece. And somebody took the black away and called it as a board, and it became a whiteboard. And you notice that all marker pens came into play. Earlier, there was a floppy. 30 years back, when I was doing a training programs, I used to carry 1 MB floppy. There will be 5, the best that I can do is 5 black and white photos. In order to show something else, I need to take the floppy out and put one other more thing inside the computer area, CPU. Now you notice with the pen drive now available, the floppy went away, CD came by, CD went away. Science will throw the CD away and take DVD. And DVD was thrown away and now pen drive is here. Video cassette players and video cassette recorders were there, totally discarded. I tell you, to give you a statistics, in Chennai alone, there were 10,000 video cassette lending library of movies in any language. Originally in 1980s and 80s, in Olympics also, the Olympic athletes will be given a room and a treadmill and also a TV and a video cassette player. Now, what has happened to video cassette player? Science has got no commitment to anything. Science will change everything. The moment you bring in something new, the moment something is operative, the moment something is cost effective, the moment it is simple, the moment it is available, it could be made available to a large number of people in every country, science will bring that in and throw the whole thing out. So faith is different, belief system is different, science is different. Science always updates. Faith and belief system do not update.
Maybe science will one day believe in God. Science will update and say that there is God or there is a belief. So science is actually progressing, so it can change as well.
Good thing, Vasanta, that you told me. The American Psychological Association studies the impact of God on human beings. Positive impact, negative impact on God and religion on human beings. Ask American Psychological Association whether God exists. American Psychological Association will say, we do not know. We have no opinion on God at all. But then you believed in God, you did not take a surgery, you died. American Psychological Association will do a research on it. Why, how come this man died or this woman died? And you prayed God and you became all right. American Psychological Association will study how come your belief system helped you to survive. But then you will not have any comment on the existence of God or existence of religion. We are neutral. You believed in God, you died, we will study that. You believed in God, you survived, we will study that.
But life and death are part of the human cycle, isn't it?
Nature.
When you
Anything
are
that
born,
God
you have
created
to
has got to
die.
die. Anything
Yes,
that is not created has got to die. If you pick up one end of the thread, there has got to be another end of the thread. If you are born, you got to die.
And there's a beginning, there must be an end.
That's right.
There is
So
a
the only way
beginning,
to
there must
avoid
be
death
an
is
end.
not being born. If you are not born, you will not die.
Oh, that's impossible.
Then death is inevitable.
That's not in our hands. We are born without being asked or given a choice, isn't it?
Right. At some point of time, if you and I vacate the place, our grandchildren will be here to play. You and I, we need to leave the place at some point of time so that our grandchildren are happy moving around. If all the people who were in 18th century, 19th century, and 20th century, they are all here, then we will have a problem moving around. They need to leave. Some point of time, it's okay to leave, good to leave. It's completion, fulfillment. I played my part. I scored a century and then I am out. I carry the bat and show it to all the people. Proud moment, I walk out.
Isn't that the theory of evolution? Like
it's
being born and dying, all this, human beings have acquired so much knowledge. Like what you spoke is excellent because you have studied so much. And when you can, the speech came out like fountain, continuity, non-stop, there's not even a moment of pause. So the knowledge is so vast. And theory of evolution, Charles Darwin's theory, and theory of God and scriptures. There's so much knowledge in this world. How do you select and say, this is it? You have to follow one way and that is it. So we are trying to bring unity in the human world. So which theory are we going to select or pick according to our own intelligence? Isn't that wise that science and religion work together?
If they work together, well and good. We are making use of science. Let us make use of religion also. Basically, I'm a psychologist. I specialize in psychology, hypnosis, transactional analysis, and neuro-linguistic programming. These 4 are my subjects. So I bring them all together and make use of them and give my lectures. I like reading books, I like taking notes, and then I like giving talks.
Yeah,
I speak in
science is helping the human world, right. Curing them, developing them, technology. Lots of things are contributed by science. Today, even the worst illness can be treated by nuclear energy and science. So isn't science important to human existence?
Yes. I tell you, taking from my personal life, my daddy died when he was 46 years old, when I was 21 years old. Right? 46 years back, he died. And I checked up the medical record. I noticed that there is only one tiny little vessel in the heart, and it has had only 40% block. One small vessel, 40% block, my daddy died. If he were alive today, we will give some ordinary medicine and bring him back. If need be, a stent will be placed inside. If need be, even a bypass surgery will be done. He would not have died at all. There was absolutely no reason why my daddy died for a simple vessel with 40% block. Multiple vessel, 100% block, and when people go for bypass surgery, happily 3rd day, they started walking out. Science
I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Welcome.
I'm a walking time bomb with the bypass and stenting, and I'm happy and living a good life.
Good.
Because of science and technology and medicine.
Okay.
So I'm so sad.
Isn't
daddy's papers. I went through my daddy's
the knowledge is
personal.
progressive.
Yeah, knowledge is progressing. My daddy should not have died at all. If he were alive today, he will continue to remain alive for the next 46 years. He would have been alive today, 92 years old.
But right now he's listening to your talk. His soul is in the next world. And he says, my son is giving a talk. So the soul is existing. Only the body, physical body rots. Yeah?
That's, I go with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's listen to Paul.
Paul Padiate.
Paul Padiate.
Yeah.
Hello, Mutaya.
Yes, yes.
I mean, actually, he's a very good friend of mine. I've been listening to his talks for a long, long time, and a person with such a vast knowledge and accurate ideas about things. So I always, what I have to say is appreciate him. So it's a lesson learned from him that reading all this and keeping it in mind. And that exercise itself is keeping him in a higher position so that he is always articulate. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure listening to you. Thank you. And
I listen to energy from people like you.
Thank you. And it was a wonderful experience in this group. It was an unusual group. Since COVID, I've been listening to several webinars. This webinar was really unusual. Thank you all the persons who have attended. Mutaya has just brought me in there. Thank you, Mutaya, for this.
Thank you. Yes, and you are most welcome to attend in future. And also, you can give a presentation on it, any topic that you are passionate about. That is good for you.
Yes, definitely.
I'll get you a number from Mr. Raman.
Yeah, I'll give you the number. I have the number. I'll give you.
Okay. Colin, you have some comments or questions?
Welcome.
I just wanted to thank Mr. Ramanathan. I really enjoyed that. I love science, and it's inspiring to hear that all the sciences teach that humanity is one, and you expressed it really, really well. And you also talked about how we're all interdependent. We can see the world as a whole, and we probably have the technical means to solve a lot of practical problems. And yet there's doubts, misconceptions, prejudices, suspicions, narrow self-interest between nations, between people in their relations with each other. I'm just wondering, there must be a way forward. Rationally, we can see that we're one people, and yet we're struggling with a lot of problems, interpersonal and between nations and between countries. I'm just wondering if you think, I know you're a scientist, but can you see that religion maybe has some resources there to help people overcome these suspicions?
When the religion, when our religion accepts the other religions also, then it will work.
When what?
To give an example, I'll come again. We had a president by name Dr. Abdul Kalam. Maybe you might have heard of him. He was president of India earlier, and a couple of years back he expired. And he was living in a tiny village called Rameshwaram at the end of India, in a corner. And there's a place called Rameshwaram, which is a Hindu religious place. All Hindus go to Rameshwaram and pray to God. Supposed to be a very religious, sanctimonious place. And in order to reach the temple, you need to cross a little bit of river. And Abdul Kalam is a Muslim. This Rameshwaram is a place where the Hindu is known for Hindu religion. Abdul Kalam and his family business is to manufacture boats. So his grandfather and his daddy and they were all creating boats, working in manufacturing boats. And with the boat, they will take people to Rameshwaram temple. And they also maintain the Rameshwaram temple today, even today, the family Muslims. It's a Hindu temple, But then in order to go to the Hindu temple, you need the help of Muslims who create the boats and who run the boats. And these Muslims maintain the temple. If only we can coexist like that. Take care of other people's religion, other people's temples. If Hindus can take care of mosques and Muslims can take care of devalayas or Christian churches, then how nice it will be. Rather than saying my mosque is better than your church is better than my temple. If only we can take care of other people, respect the other person and his religion.
Yeah, I agree. Interdependence is already going a long way to breaking down barriers and between religions and every other kind of difference. Thank you.
Welcome. My grandchildren are in Bay Area near San Francisco in USA, California. And you notice that my grandchildren are in the school. And in the school, it could be first standard or second standard or so. You get to see that of the 20-25 children there in one class, 5 children are Indian children, 5 children are Chinese children, 2 or 3 are Mexicans. Hardly 5 children are USA people, and another 2 or 3 are from other countries. So all these people put together, when all the 25 children are there, I don't get to see a particular religion or a particular country. Chinese children are there, American children are there, Indian children are there, Mexican children are there, because Mexico is close to California. And other countries, couple of children. 25 people from 5-6 different countries, they sit together, and the first standard teacher starts teaching them ABCD and how to get along with other people, qualities, good nature. So in order, if you want anything, raise your hand. When 2 adults are talking, wait. Do not hurt anybody else. Eat only your food, because the other food may not agree to your stomach. So do not share your food, but all the other things, play together, be together, learn together. And 25 children from 5-6 different countries stay together and learn together. I look at it beautifully. I'm so very happy. And one other thing is, every week they give a report. The teacher gives a report about the children, calls the people verbally, orally, they will give a report also. And whenever we go there as grandparents, we drop the children and we pick up the children. And the teacher tells the mummy, my teacher tells my daughter, whenever Indian grandfather or grandmother comes, so these people become naughty. It is very difficult to manage them. Now, grandparents come and make them mischievous, and they become naughty and they don't listen. The grandfather or grandmother, they always pamper them.
Yes. And
it's called unconditional love. All the mistakes that I committed bringing up my son and daughter, I will not commit the same mistake because I have learned. Now I became grandfather. I will give unconditional love to my granddaughter, grandson. And they become naughty. That's happiness. That's real bliss. That's what we look forward to. Children being happy. Get it? I want people to coexist like that. Right from first standard, people must be able to coexist with all religion, all countries, all mother tongues. Come together, learn together, live together, work together. Do something worthwhile for the world together.
Yes. Thank you. And also Colin has put a comment in the chat. He said, well said, Mr. Ramanathan. Ever since the seeking of preference and distinction came into play, the world has been laid waste. It has become desolate.
We hope for the best.
Yes. And would you like to unmute and
Yes. Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for your speech. I found it very fascinating, very informative. And it's a coincidence that my father passed away at 46 as well. My question is, like, I haven't heard the word spiritual mentioned here. And from a perspective of like 12-step program of Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous and so forth, they acknowledge in meetings that we are not a religious association, but a spiritual one. My question to you is, have you researched the spiritual side? And how is that applicable to other nationalities from your perspective, please?
Good. Thank you. Well, I have not done any research on spirituality. My understanding of spirituality in simple terms is spirituality is all encompassing, nothing excluded. If you leave anything out, then it is not spirituality. If it encompasses everything, includes everything, then it is called spirituality. My spirituality is to encompass, is to bring in together, is make a group of an association of all the people, irrespective of race or ethnicity or qualification or power or position or designation or maturity or wisdom or knowledge or whatever. You are a human being, I am a human being. I love you, you love me. That's called spirituality. No qualifications at all. Unconditional love. Everybody is included. But the moment I start distinguishing myself as a person who is a Tamilian, who is an Indian, who is a Chettiar, and who is an Indian, and who is a male, then I have a problem relating with other people. Spirituality is all encompassing. Religion is not. If your religion can encompass other people, then it becomes spiritual. That is my understanding. See, I am using something called computers or information technology. I do not know who created it. And the person who created it, he does not know I am using it, I am going to use it. Somehow we are connected. Somebody created, I am benefiting. I do not know the originator, and the originator does not know the user. But then we are connected. I respect him, he respects me. I love him, he loves me. I need him, he needs me. So when you do not know the identity of the other person and you help the other person, I think that's called spirituality. If you know the other person and you help the other person, deep inside at the back of your mind, it says, at some point of time, he will help me back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al. And those we have not spoken yet.
Again?
Kavya, Pina, Mari, Robert, if you if you don't have any comments or questions, I'll give it to Jung for another question. That will be the last one.
Right. Welcome, Jung. Yin Yang Jung.
Yin Yang Jung. You got it. You got it. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Siva. What I'm asking is, just come across a reading that Mr. Silva provided, something to do with a bestseller book, How to Score More Than 90% in Exams. Well, it was a very interesting topic by, but let's look at the subject matter. But in Australia, if I'm aware of, if we are in a recruitment area, people who pass 90% in exam will not be guaranteed for a job. Had to be 100% or 99 or 98%. If you want to have a job that satisfy your whatever talent, skills, knowledge, experience, and good relationship with people, and all that sort of criteria. So,
yeah, this is the book.
I mean, yes, thank you so much. At uni, if people get 90%, that's one of the top marks. But at the workplace, if you work in a recruitment here, they will require 100% or 99 or 98%. So what I'm saying is, we want the human move forward oneness of humankind, but we have also to work on with people who have, illness, physical illness, as I mentioned in the beginning, and people who doesn't have capacity to acquire 100% marks in the exam. So we can move everybody forward to the oneness of humankind, because we go to heaven not by ourselves, but we have to bring our fellow people, and not everybody have the same, like strength, like God given. So that's all my saying. Thank you.
Good that you brought this subject up. I could give you some a little more clarification. Personally, as an individual, as Ramanathan, my point is do not score more than 60%, so that you can learn something else outside. That is my personal opinion. Then why did I write something called 90% plus? Because it so happens around me in my Chennai, this is a cosmopolitan city, wherein competition is too much, wherein children commit suicide, or children run away from the place, or children kill even daddy, mummy, or the teacher. It's in the papers and the media saying that the student killed the teacher, and the student committed suicide jumping up from the 5th floor, and the student ran away from the place, 15 years old, 16 years old. I was pained by them. I was really sad. In order to avoid such a situation, I said there are very easy ways to score marks. I wrote this book, and I really wanted to say score 60% and be happy. But then the publisher said, if I give that title, nobody will buy the book. I won't publish the book at all. So we will call it 90% plus. My title originally was score 60% and be happy with it. Don't commit suicide, don't kill, don't run away. That was the title. But then the publisher said, nothing doing. Nobody will buy the book if you say 60%. So we called it 90%. Score 60%, learn yoga, learn meditation, learn mountaineering, learn driving a vehicle or repairing a vehicle, learn a new language, learn to dance, learn to speak, learn to organize a meeting, learn some artwork. So do something else every year. If you can learn two things new, and in about 12 years, when you come to 12th standard, you have about 20 different subjects you know of, then you are well qualified to live in life. Don't think in terms of college. 90% marks in 5 books will not make you a healthy person to lead a life. The answer is definitely not in 5 books in one semester, or 10 books in 1 year, or 40 books in 5 years. Doesn't work. I don't go for that. So I fully endorse whatever you say, but then scoring 100 will not make you a better person. It becomes bookish intelligent. Bookish intelligence is not common sense. It doesn't help to lead a life happily. How do you connect with other people? You do not know, because you are always 24 hours reading book, memorizing it. Life is not in the books. Not in the 5 books in the education system. Life is in everywhere. Every single book behind me, there is life. You choose to read. You are not under compulsion to read. I love to read.
Thank you very much.
Let us create a loving environment,
yes,
such that children are happy picking up the book and learning. That is the environment we need to create. 90% is not the issue, or 100 is not the issue.
yes.
Right?
Thank you.
Welcome you.
There's a saying, or the word from Baha'u'llah. He said that regard man as a mine rich in gems of inestimable value. Education can alone cause it to reveal its treasures and enable mankind to benefit therefrom. So, assuming that every individual has a lot of potential inside, and bringing out that potential is what the education should be, so that humanity can benefit from. Unfortunately, the education system all around the world, except for a few countries, they are focusing on competition and forcing information on individuals. So your theory of get 60 and be happy is a better model, I suppose. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Ramanathan. It was one of the most discussed interfaith meeting we had. You seem to be popular here too. I hope we can meet once again. And thank you everyone for participating. And we will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ave Maria.
Okay.